Hello everybody and welcome. I am Michael from Embody the State, and today's video is going to be about why your desire is already yours. It's a perspective that I want you to gently remind yourself of, okay? And I know you guys have heard this before, right? Your desire is already yours. What you want wants you back, so on and so on, right? Your desire is waiting for you. We're going to dive into a little bit more detail and understanding regarding this, why people say it, and how I interpret this, right? This is what helps me, especially earlier in my journey, right? The stage that I'm at right now, a lot of these rules, these perspectives, these things are just at the back of my head. And to be honest, my videos, whether it was TikTok, whether it's YouTube, I don't plan these. Honestly, I only put out content when I'm inspired to, right? Because I just trust my intuition, right? I'm not going to put out a video that I don't think is going to help, people that watch my content. So this week is going to be about pretty much perspective changing, right? It's about reminding yourself of who you are, but what already exists, okay? And that's what this video is about. So that being said, before I get into it, embodythestate.com if you require any form of help or guidance, right? I always tell people you do not have to buy any coaching. Nobody in the world needs coaching, right? Because all the information is free. But if you just want to save your time and you don't want to read all the books and go trial after trial and, pretty much do what I did, then of course it's there for you if you can afford it. I don't want anyone's money if you can't afford it. I don't want anyone putting away, not eating or something in exchange to afford services. Please don't do that. Just if you're one of those people, just study my content for free, get a notebook. That's all you need to do. For those that can afford it, I'm always here for you guys. It's not necessary. It just saves time. It speeds things up. And it's custom information based on your situation. So that being said, embodythestate.com. And, I'm always here for you. And from anyone watching this, all I ask is, and this is the only thing I ever ask for you guys, is if you haven't subscribed and you like the content I have, please subscribe and hit that little notification, that bell icon they call it, because it shows you when I post a video, right? And on top of that, if you don't mind, hit that like, because what it does is it pushes us out and allows it to help other people and get seen by other people. So if this video helped you, then hit that like button, just because the way it helped you, it might help someone else that it wouldn't have, right? So that's all I ask for, guys, okay? So let's dive into it. Your desire is already yours, right? What does this mean? So when you hear the saying, your desire is already yours, right? Your desire is waiting for you. You have to realize that the perspective that people are saying this from is that reality, that thing you want, you can only want it if it already exists. There is no such thing as a desire that isn't promised to you and a desire that isn't already created, right? That's why you hear the saying, creation is finished, right? So when you understand this, you realize, okay, if creation is finished and what I want actually exists, right? Then what's left for me to get it? What do I have to do to get it? And here's the fun part, right? The fun part is the only thing left for you to do is to start accepting that you already are it, right? Think about it. What is the state of the wish fulfilled? It is literally accepting that you already are something that you physically know you aren't, right? At that moment, you can only experience the feelings of the wish fulfilled, the thoughts of thinking from that state by entering that state, right? That's why I tell people all the time, if you want ASP as an example, then stop looking at your person from the eyes of, that's my SP I'm trying to manifest. Hopefully today's the day that they come. Hopefully today's the day that they change. I'm going to do this technique and that technique in order to force them to change, right? It's not how you want to be looking at life, right? That's not a perspective that God carries, that a person who knows that they are an aspect, that they're connected to the source, right? God would not look at things like that. And that's what I always tell people all the time, especially my clients, right? Like, think of it from the eyes of the law, from the eyes of the creator, right? When you look at your problems and your 3D. If you understand that creation is finished and you understand who you are, this power inside you, right? This amazing source that we are all connected to, right? We are almighty within our reality. We each have our own personal reality. That's why, for me, as an example, if I wanted to manifest anyone, it doesn't matter if it's a YouTube comment of someone that has like a really nice profile picture that I fell in love with, right? It doesn't matter. If I want them, I can manifest them if that was number one, my desire, right? Because remember, I don't manifest things I don't want, right? Because it's not promised to me. I'm not going to try to force it, right? So if it's something I really wanted, I know I could get it. Or if it's someone at the mall I see that I'm like, wow, something in me is like, I need to marry that woman, right? Same concept. I don't look at that like, oh no, how am I even gonna get her number? Like, she doesn't even know I exist. I don't care, right? Because that's not how God would look at that situation, right? God understands, wait a minute, I catch it, I want it, I see her, right? But then I understand, the way the law works. It's already existing. The fact I'm aware that I want this person, so just like you want your SP, that already exists. That end result you are seeking in your physical reality already exists, guys, okay? That is such a, like, it's such a big, I guess, weight off your shoulders, you know, off your chest when you realize, when you truly accept that, right? That it's already created. When you are thinking of the thing that you want and you are reminded that it's already created, that it's already done, that there is already a reality where you are experiencing this with that desire the way you want it, then it's so much easier to just, like let that sink in and just feel the reality of it. Because remember, as I mentioned earlier, you can only feel the feelings of the state you're in, right? And that's why I tell people, when you fully accept a state of consciousness, a new identity, most people, I'm not saying if you don't feel feelings, you're doing it wrong, by the way, so don't panic. But most people, they'll feel something, right? It's like a little shift. It's a little, like, a lightness, a relief, a weight off the chest or shoulders. Some people, it's tingles, like butterflies, in a good way, right? Some people, it's, relief, it's gratitude, it's so many different things, joy, you name it, right? Whatever to you would imply something beneficial, right? Something positive. So it's the same thing, right? So just as I see that person that I fell in love with at the mall, right? I know that it exists already, because the fact that I want them, that I could even see myself in the future with them, it's me looking at what already exists. Creation is finished, guys. Let that sink in. Creation is finished. Your desire, whatever it is you're longing for, already exists. Do you understand that? It exists. It's just you can't see it yet. It's all within you. There are infinite possibilities. You are always peeking into all those possibilities that you could be experiencing, the things that are already created. Remember, creation is finished, right? So when you start realizing the images, the videos, the things you experience up here are not just pixelated pixels on a computer screen like you do see on a computer monitor, right? You realize, oh my God, I'm peeking into a possibility. I'm peeking into one of infinite options that I could be experiencing. The fact that I'm seeing this is proof that I know that I can actually obtain this in my 3D reality. Because remember, manifestation is not about trying to force things or create things, right? Manifestation is just seeing things that are already visible, guys, okay? And that's a mistake that so many people make. They have this idea that, I have to create this, I have to manifest this, and I have to like choke hold it, and work so hard to get it. I got to do all these processes, all these techniques. I got to, set a timer every 20 minutes or every 30 minutes to get into the state, because if I get into the state 1,000 times, I'm going to get it, right? But a lot of people are forgetting, right? You want to practice on not just doing processes to do them blindly, right? A person who just once that day, truly embodies the state for just a second, right? Feels the reality of being that person, really steps into that I am, like who I am, right? So if let's say I stand here, right? And right here is the Michael that does not have $100 million in the bank and does not have a Rolls Royce and the Dream SP, right? And as soon as I step here, so let's say over here is the Michael, right? The state that has the Rolls Royce, the loving wife, right? The Dream SP, the house, everything. So stepping into a state is as simple as this. I know it's crazy, right? And you guys, some of you are watching, you'll say, no, it's not. Like, this guy's an idiot. What's he saying? Like, if it was that easy, we'd all get it. I'm telling you, it's that easy. It's just your logical mind makes that hard, right? So I'm going to step back here. So this is what happens, right? Here's how it works. I think of my desire, right? And I'm aware, right away it hits me. This already exists. Creation is finished. I don't have to do anything. I just have to accept that I already am, right? And sometimes, honestly, give it a try. When your desire hits you, if you don't like affirming, you don't like doing techniques or even visualizing too much, just say I am. Like, look, desire pops in my head. Boom, I just say I am. And it gets me smiling, because I know when I say I am, I'm thinking of my power within me. I'm remembering that it already exists. Creation is finished. All these rules. When I say I am, it hits me, right? And so I say I am, like, pops in my head, I am, and I just say it in my head like I am. And it's like a matter of fact, And I contemplate that, and I'm instantly smiling because I'm feeling the reality of it. So now I just stepped into, I have $100 million net worth. I have a Rolls Royce Wraith, my favorite color, my favorite car. And, I have my dream life, dream house, and everything. And I'm here, right? So you're gonna be here for, depends, a couple seconds, a minute, who knows, right? But eventually, you're going to fall back here, right? And that's the person who I would say is neutral. It's the regular me, right? It's the one that I'm used to. I know I don't have the SP, the money, the cars, whatever goal you want to use, right? So I went sorry, I'm going to start again. So I went from here to here, which is wish fulfilled, and then back here, which is back to my normal self, right? That's my neutral self. That's okay, right? It's once I return here to my neutral self, right? That is where if I only fulfilled myself once, as long as I don't go further to the left, which is negative, right? And I just either remain here or just pop back in here once or just remain here the whole time, that one time I truly felt fulfilled is fine, right? Because I didn't contradict myself. It goes back to my success story, right? With my credit card, right? Some of my clients, and I believe I told you guys publicly too, but if not, I'll reshare it real quick. But, I had something manifest that I only thought about twice. I fulfilled myself twice. 2 times, guys, okay? And it wasn't this crazy, intense, like, oh no, like I already have it, da-da-da. No. It was just, I wanted one of my credit cards, it made no sense. They gave me like an insulting credit card limit, right? For what my credit is and what I have to offer, pretty much. I'm not gonna get into details about that, but they should have given me like a much bigger credit limit, right? And I was like shocked. I was like, what the hell? How do all my other banks give me like so much limit, but then this one is like treating me like I'm a criminal or something, right? So of course I didn't like it because I love using credit cards, right? For building credit and things like that. And I was like, this thing, like I'll use the limit in like one day. I'm like, what's the point? So instead of calling and complaining, and I knew it would take me an hour to get on the phone, which by the way is a limiting belief in itself. So remember, you got to catch yourself like that, just like I did, right? I don't have to believe that, but it's just my experience. And I've never cared to change it because I know I don't need to change it because I can just do what I did, right? And I'm going to get into it. So, when I thought about it then and there, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to wait an hour. And I don't really care to use the law to change this, like to change the duration of the phone call, right? Instead, I'm just going to give it to myself. I have so many, I have so much things to do that like I don't have time to spend, waiting to get to talk to someone, right? So I fulfilled myself once. I thought to myself, you know what? Okay, what is it that I want? I want this limit raised, right? And right away, I knew that limit, that the result is already existing. In other words, creation is finished. My desire is already done, right? It's already mine. So I already knew, okay, this is my end result. I want it here. So instead of living down here, I just accepted that I was here. So I felt the relief of it because I thought to myself, okay, what would I feel if I actually got that confirmation, right? That I actually got my limit raised. And it hit me then and there. Boom, relief. I felt this relief just wash down, from my chest down. And it was like, oh, I felt it. So I was like, okay, that's great. That's good enough for me. And it wasn't nothing intense, but that was good. And then the rest of the night, I forgot about it, right? The next day, same thing. One more time, because I remembered it once. And then after that, I got so busy, right? And day 9, so pretty much 7 days later, it arrived, right? No effort needed, no amount of crazy processes, no amount of spamming affirmations, not blindly doing anything, not filling my day up with alarms, not reminding myself, oh, I have to get into the state or else I'm not going to get it. None of that crap, right? What did I do? Let's break down what I did, right? I knew I wanted a desire, right? I understood I had a limiting belief regarding the call time waits, right? And I didn't care to use the law to change that. So I understood, okay, you know what? I don't mind not getting the result now because I know I'll get it in the future. And while I'm waiting for it to come, right? And when I say waiting, I don't mean sitting there like, oh, where is it? Where is it? I just mean I'm living my life while knowing it's going to come, okay? So while I'm waiting, right, I know that I could do other things. I could work with clients. I could catch up on emails, voice messages, you name it. So I was like, great. And it came. And the only thing I did was fulfill myself once because I understood creation is finished, right? I knew what I wanted. And I knew that because I wanted it, it was already existing. Just like that imaginary woman I talked about at the mall, right? That I fell in love with. Or whoever else, right? So that's how it works. It works like that. It's just, I knew that the result was finished. And I knew that because I wanted this limit raised, that it already existed. Remember, your desire is already done. It's created. It is yours, guys, okay? And the same way I knew that it is done and its creation's finished, and the fact that I want this means it's already done, then I could just step into the relief of having it done, right? I just stepped into the same thing, right? I started here and boom, fulfillment, right? I accepted the fulfillment of what it would be if I actually received it, right? In that moment. And for me, it was just relief, right? It was like, ooh, I knew it would come, right? And it felt good. And that's what happened. I did that twice. I only did that 2 times and I did not contradict myself once. Why? Well, luckily for me, it was because I didn't think about it, right? But even if I did think about it and I wasn't so busy that week, then all I did was when I thought about it, I would have just made sure not to go to the negative. I wouldn't have been, where is it? I've been doing everything perfect. It's not here, right? No, it's just, I understand if it's not here yet, it's just the time is not yet, right? I know I'm doing things right. It's just a matter of time. And because I wasn't worried about the time or pretend or forcing myself in a state, then it arrived quickly. And that's what I want you guys to realize. The same way I look at my goals, right? I want something and then I'm reminded instantly about the rules of the law, right? I'm reminded, okay, desire here, all the rules are in the back of my head, right? So in other words, everyone that you pushed out, creation is finished, it's already mine. The fact that I wanted it means it's already promised to me. All these things hit me every time I have a desire, right? All the rules to the law, that my inner world creates my outer. My inner experience has to come first before I experience outside, so on and so on, right? All that, when I have a desire, I've, through gentle repetition of just reminding myself how the law works throughout the years, it's permanent, right? And I'm not saying it takes years to do that. Honestly, it really took me 3 to 6 days to really kind of make it a habit. And it just, I maintained it, right? I just didn't let it stop. And it's to the point where it's who I am now. I cannot look at life through regular eyes anymore. I've told this with one of my clients in the past. It's impossible for me to look at life as a human anymore. It's very rare. It's so damn rare that I react horribly to anything, right? And when I do, I don't punish myself, guys. I really don't, because I understand I'm human. It's just I'm a human that has more experience than the person that's just starting out with the law, right? And that's why, for me, I panicked a little less. But once in a while, right? Like, for example, the last time I was in a really bad state was in September, right? I've shared that with you guys on the Facebook group. And I'm not immune to these things, right? It just hit me out of nowhere. But the thing is these videos are to give you guys that peace of mind, those things that, the things in here that are going to kind of help you the way it helps me when I get into a bad state, right? When you know that creation is finished, when you know that your desire is already yours, when you know that everything you want is already done, the only thing stopping you is you deciding that you are already it, right? That you are already being that person. Think about it. You can look at it from, I'm trying to get it, I'm doing processes, or you could look at it from, okay, I'm aware of the rules now. I know that it's already finished. And if I'm thinking about it and I want it, it's because it's already done. I'm already experiencing it. That's my higher self saying, hey, buckle up. You're supposed to be experiencing this. Why are you sitting here and choosing to not identify with it, right? Same concept. So understand that whatever it is you want, creation is already finished. It never was waiting for you to create it. It's waiting for you to start seeing it within, start identifying with it, okay? And when you start identifying with it, when you start going from neutral state to over here, fulfillment, right? Big difference, right? It's okay if you fall back to the neutral. Just understand that the next time your desire hits you and you're in the mood to do it, because remember, I don't want you guys forcing techniques, and you're in the mood to do it, I want you guys to understand, remind yourself of the rules to the law, okay? And before I wrap this video up, I want to give you guys like a little, I don't want to call it a challenge, but it's technically a challenge. It's something you can do on your own. It's something that I recommend everyone do at least once. And this might hurt you guys, but I think if you're still watching this video and you really want to like kind of get results and not really, hurt yourself and really overindulge in information, it's pretty much to find something. Either it's one of my videos, go listen to Neville Goddard, or anyone that teaches source information, right? Whether it's a lecture from Neville, a book from Neville, Joseph Murphy, doesn't matter. But spend at least 3 days, right? I always tell people go for 30, but a week is good. 3 days even is better than nothing. But go 3 days, right? And truly find a concept that you really want to live by, right? So for example, this video for you, because now you have the understanding, right? The reminder that you already know is that it's already created. Creation is finished. So when you walk into your day today, or at least tomorrow, if you watch this tomorrow, or whenever it is, you're going to be understanding, okay, I remember what Michael said. If I want it, it's already done. It's already finished, which means I just have to step into it, right? And right then and there, you're training your mind to just step into these things, to just accept your new identity, right? The same way that you would accept the negative, right? People always ask, how do I accept anything? How do I accept the new identity? It's as simple as deciding, right? You'll hear it all the time. It's about who you are being, right? Who are you deciding to be, right? Am I going to be the Michael over here that doesn't have, the Rolls Royce, $100 million, blah, blah, and then still complain that I don't have it? Or can I just step here, boom, I just felt the reality of being, that being worth 100 mil, right? That's like a sense of pride of like, holy shit, like, like I did this, right? And it feels good when you play around with that. And that alone is, it's as simple as that. It's the same way you would daydream as you were a kid, except you would kind of experience the relief of having that toy. You would like think about it. Even as adults, I'm sure some of you did this, right? Especially the guys. If you love cars like I do, you've for sure seen yourself driving whatever favorite car you want, right? And think about it. If now you picture and you hear your friends greeting you or cheering you on when they see you in your car, or whatever, thing to you implies money, right? If you're manifesting money, you get excited, you start smiling, you start feeling good for just a little bit. But you will always look at that as a daydream. But if you know the law, you realize right then and there, you just accepted that imaginal act. And that's what it is, guys. That's what manifesting is. It's accepting those imaginal acts. It's understanding it's who you are, right? It's seeing those imaginal acts as just a reminder of what already exists, okay? So I don't want you guys to, be worried. I don't want you guys to think like I don't know what to do. Trust me, if you guys want to kind of take a step back from content and you feel like you're over consuming, please take a couple days off and just really live by the law. Just promise yourself for 3 days, you're not going to watch, spam watch content all day. If you do want to read or listen to anything law related, go listen to Neville Goddard's lectures in his own voice, right? Not somebody else's. Or go read one of his books, right? And whether it's 10 minutes a day minimum, that's what I recommend. If you guys are willing to do this for 3 days, 7 days, 10 days, whatever you want, and just every time you're nervous, every time you're anxious, you're confused, you're scared, worried, upset, go study, go read, go listen, right? I'm telling you guys, by reminding yourself of how the law works and using this video, what's in this video alone, you guys can make so many changes within your self-concept, guys. It's all about understanding what you do within becomes your outer experience, right? And what you are seeing within is already created. It's just waiting for you to step into the person who has it, who identifies with it, right? So you can go from here and then fulfill yourself. And then eventually you're going to go back to here, which is okay. It's just don't go all the way over there and then start wondering, why is it not here? Why is it not here? It doesn't work like that, guys. It's about dominantly returning. Eventually the dominant part happens through repetition. So for now, just practice returning to the state of the wish fulfilled in whatever form it looks like to you, okay? Whatever it feels like to you. And understand, whatever picture you are seeing in your mind is already created, okay? You're not creating anything. Creation is finished. It's always been there. You are looking into so many possibilities. So now that you know that you are looking into those possibilities, does it not make sense now to just accept it? Does it not make sense to just realize, hey, that thing I'm looking at, it's literally like if I want it faster, I just have to accept that thing. Like if I saw myself, for you guys it's SP. So if you see yourself with your SP cuddled up and holding hands, and to you that implies that you guys finally made it. You finally manifested them, right? Accept that. How would that feel to just be like, you know what, like this is who I am? How would that feel to actually be the person in that imaginal act, right? Step into that picture. Step into that visual for just a second, right? Experience the truth of it, because now you know the little secret that so many people don't. It's already done, guys. It's just waiting for you to accept it, okay? So I hope this video kind of helped you guys. Thank God it wasn't a full 30-minute one, even though I'm sure you guys like those. I'm trying my best to make these shorter because, as I mentioned, I want to start putting out more videos and maybe just do a bunch of 15-minute ones. But I'm practicing on kind of shortening them a bit, but also keeping the information great because I don't like to gatekeep. But, it's also something that I can practice too, right? Getting good at giving all like 30 minutes worth within half the time or more, right? So I hope this video helped you guys. I appreciate it if you made it this far. I love all the support. I'm so grateful for every single one of you. And, you guys are really amazing. I love teaching you guys, right? Even the ones that are not my clients. I love just anyone that listens, really, because I'm teaching you guys how to change your life. And I just want you guys to know that if you question this, if you're not sure if it works, trust me. I've seen so much evidence of it. I've used this myself. You 100% can do this, right? We are all constantly learning. I'm constantly learning. And that's how it should be. You should all be evolving, right? In 6 months, you should not be where you are today. Mentally, doesn't mean 3D wise, but mentally, you should have a better understanding, more perspectives, right? And that's all we're seeking. We're seeking perspectives. When you come to these videos, you're seeking a new perspective, a new shift in your mental state to help you be like, oh, that's what I should be doing, okay? And that's why I tell you guys, grab something from one of my videos or from Neville, right? and really just chew on it for days, right? That's why I tell people, don't overconsume, right? For me personally, my best ever results came from non-consumption, like non-overconsumption, right? Like thankfully there wasn't what you guys have now when I started, right? But all I did was when I decided to put my feet down and say, you know what, I'm getting my ex back and I'm getting my business. I decided enough is enough, right? I just knew that nobody else had the answers but Neville, but the sources, right? The source teachers, not just Neville, but at the time I only read Neville, right? So every time I was anxious or scared, I ran to a book or I ran to a Neville lecture. And just 10, 15 minutes of reading, holy crap, all that went away. And because I was consistently afraid because of my old habits of returning to the bad state, I was consistently studying. Let me tell you, the reminders of the law, day after day after day from studying, it made it so hard to the point where I had no negative thoughts for the days leading up to manifesting the SP and the business. So that's why I tell you guys, I think it might benefit some of you guys, especially those that feel overworked, some of you that feel like nothing is working for you guys, and some of you that just know that you're over consuming. It's okay. Take a little step back. Stick to the sources, right? You know, I don't even want to throw myself in there because I understand that it's kind of like biased to say, oh, just watch me and no one else, right? I understand how that looks, right? It's just I know that I teach sources. So I know that what I'm teaching is the same thing you're going to read in Neville books and other books, right? But that being said, you know, I don't want to be biased either, but, you know, study Neville mainly, right? I understand like you guys are lucky if you found me. And I don't say that with any type of cockiness or anything. It's just, it's a fact. If I had me when I started, I would have saved me years and years. And you know, back then there wasn't anyone like that. It was just people just doing whatever they think that was right? But anyways, I'm going to cut this video now and sorry for the rant. I just want you guys to understand the importance of actually sticking to the law. And when you're over-consuming, you're kind of in the middle. You're never in the end, right? When you're over-consuming, you're always searching for an answer, right? And then a whole day passes by, and then you're like, okay, tomorrow, maybe it'll click tomorrow. How many months has it been, right? Just study the law little by little and practice reminding yourself of the rules of how it works, okay? When you're reminded of how the rules work, it's impossible to continue return to the lack. The more you remind yourself of the rules and the more you start living by them, I'm telling you, your world will freaking change, guys, okay? So that being said, I love you all very much. If you're new here, I love you too. And if you've been a member here since day one, I love you all very much. Thank you for the support. And remember, guys, embodydestate.com, if you need any guidance, voice messages will be coming back up shortly. It'll be a limited amount, so it'll be first come, first serve. As you already know, I'm staying home for the entire month of April, aside from 2 days a week where I'll be going to my business stuff. But other than that, I'm going to be focusing on you guys, okay? So for those voice messages for the remainder of the month, expect those responses to be much, much quicker. And anyone that's been waiting for more than 3 weeks regarding email or WhatsApp message, if you're listening to this, hit me up, right? I'm only human. Sometimes someone slips between the cracks. Sometimes I accidentally forget to hit send, and then you get, you know, avalanche by new clients and you know, sometimes I forget, right? So I bought new whiteboards in order to avoid that moving forward, and that's already been working amazing wonders for my organization, to be honest, right? It's allowing me to go through things way quicker. So I'm excited, and I'm happy that all of you guys at least learned something in this video. So thank you very much, guys. I appreciate it. All I ask from you guys is a like, and if you haven't subscribed if this video was beneficial for you. And I'm excited for the next video. So expect the next video in a couple days at least, okay? So take care, be safe, guys, and remember, free yourself, and in turn, free your mind, and in turn, you'll free yourself. I just screwed up my own slogan, but doesn't matter. But anyways, yes, free your mind, and in turn, you'll free yourself, right? That's why it's my slogan. If you think about it, that's all you're doing. You're freeing your mind, right? And when you free yourself, think about it. You get everything. You get your SP, you get your, you know, your dream house, you get your desired car. What else? Like, what else would you want? I don't even know. What else do you guys want? Let me think about it. Yeah, I don't know. Some health, I guess, other than that, right? I'm trying to think. Even my clients, it's usually 98% SP, some money, and then like one or like a couple health people, right? So that being said, it's all your guys. Remember, every time you choose to let go of those chains within your mind, you free yourself, okay? That's what I mean by my slogan. It's when you free your mind, you're letting go of those chains. And when you finally do that, you are now skyrocketing towards your desire, okay? So take care, guys, and have yourself a wonderful day.